Hi Year Twos, it's Mrs. Elliott here. Right, this is going to be our online lesson for English for this week, but I'm going to do things slightly differently to how we've done for the last few weeks. So first of all, I'm creating this YouTube video, and what I'd like you to do is I would like you to watch the whole thing completely, and then I'd like you to watch it again, pausing at points so that you can do the work as I'm doing the work. That way you'll produce something brilliant. Then when we have our lesson, which I'll send to mummies and daddies, we're not going to have different lessons this week. We're going to have one complete English lesson where everyone in our Year 2 group will come together and share everything that you've created. Because when we're in a classroom, we get to share all of our ideas and we feel inspired and we pick up on everyone else's thoughts, and it's amazing. And that's what we're going to recreate. So by having one meeting this week on Wednesday, we're all going to be listening to each other's ideas and sharing everything. And it'll be just like being in a real classroom. But it does mean that you have to do this work beforehand, okay? So this work is all based around the clock tower, which is a little clip that I've sent out. I'm going to share it with you now. So if I screen share here, and I'm going to share with you this little video. So if I play this, just to remind you, we're just going to use the first part of it for today. There we go, I'm going to stop sharing that part now. Okay, I love that little clip, it's beautiful. And I hope you picked up on the fact that she was one of the cogs in the clock and she was so important. Without her, the clock just didn't work. It's a bit like our classroom, how we're all so important. We all work together, a bit like this session. That's why we're all gonna have the same meeting together to share our work. So I want you to think back to when we were using our sight and our hearing and our touch and our taste, all of our senses to do a brilliant piece of writing a couple of weeks ago. Because I'm going to share the screen again, I'm going to share with you this. This is the framework for your piece of writing. So we're going to start off with inside my clock tower. So you are that important cog. You are the ballerina in this example. Inside my clock tower, you're starting with your sense of sight. I can see the sunlight. Then after that, we have, I can hear the clock. Then I can smell the wood. And then I can feel the bumps as the clock was moving. I can feel the bumps. Now that means I've used 4 of my senses. I'm not going to use taste. I didn't really think it was appropriate. And if we have a look at this all together, it's an okay piece of writing. It's got some sentences which are clearly punctuated, but for us Year 2s, we know that we can do a little bit better than that. So it just says, inside my clock tower, I can see the sunlight, I can hear the clock, I can smell the wood, I can feel the bumps. If you get that far, that's fine, but I know you can do better, because we're very, very good at Purple Pen editing. So I'm going to show you a Purple Pen edit. So I will stop sharing this, and I will now, there we go, I want to make that share that one, but it doesn't seem to want to share. Okay, so we're going to see here. So we can see the first sentence using our sense of sight says, I can see the sunlight, and that's okay, but it could be better. So I can see the sunlight. Now we know that the beginning of that sentence says, in my clock tower, I can see the sunlight. Now, where can we see the sunlight? What's it doing? I can see the sunlight. Where's it coming? I can see the sunlight coming through the window. That's better. In my clock tower, I can see the sunlight coming through the window. Now that's not bad, better, a bit more information. I quite like that. I did an extra clause. But I think some of my words are not that exciting. They're not that ambitious, are they? I can see the sunlight beaming, not coming. I'm going to cross that out. I'm going to go with beaming. I can see the sunlight beaming through the window. How is it beaming? Is it faintly beaming, or is it beaming clearly. I'm going to put clearly in here as well. Look at that. My sentence is growing. I can see the sunlight beaming clearly through the window. So from my clock tower, I can see the sunlight beaming clearly through the window. That's already so much better, isn't it? Okay, yeah? Now the sunlight, is it bright sunlight? Is it dull sunlight? Cloudy sunlight? I think it's bright. I can see the bright sunlight beaming clearly through the window. Do you know what? We can add a tiny bit more. Making patterns on the floor. Wow, that's a huge sentence now. I think I better stop, otherwise it might need a full stop. It's getting a bit carried away. Making patterns on the floor. There we go. Not bad. Yeah, I hope you like that one. So that's okay, but I've got to do that for all of my sentences, because having a beautiful sentence like this, if I can see the bright sunlight beaming clearly through the window, making patterns on the floor, and then I go to my next sentence, which is, I can share this with you. I can hear the clock. It doesn't sound as good, does it? So it needs to be a bit more exciting. I can hear the clock. So I'm going to do that one with you as well. So I can hear the clock. I can hear the clock. If I stop sharing, then you can see my page. I can hear the clock. I can hear the clock. There we go. I can hear the clock. Full stop. I can hear the clock. I can hear the clock. What's it doing? I can hear the clock. Get rid of that. Ticking. I can hear the clock ticking. I can hear the clock ticking. What's it ticking like? I can hear the clock ticking. What's it like? Ticking. In time with my, she lives in the clock. I wonder if it's ticking in time with her heartbeat. Wouldn't that be lovely? I can hear the clock ticking in time with my heartbeat. Full stop. Another page there. I can hear the clock ticking in time with my heartbeat. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Now, is it quietly ticking? But loudly ticking? Rhythmically ticking? I'm going to go with, I like loudly. I can hear the clock ticking loudly. In time with my heartbeat. That sounds a lot nicer, doesn't it? I can hear the clock ticking loudly in time with my heartbeat. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got two fabulous sentences there, but it means the other two sentences have got to match. So let's go back to sharing. What was our next sentence? I need to remind myself. The next sentence said, I can smell the wood. Okay, I can smell the wood. Right, so what could we have there? I'd like to change the sentence now so it doesn't always begin with I. What could it begin with? We could have the woody smells waft into my nose. We could have, interestingly, I can smell the wood of the clock as well as the metal of the cogs. Okay, so you get the idea that I really want you to grow your sentences. I want you to grow what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell, and what you can feel. And then what will happen is that when you put all of your sentences together, you'll have an amazing paragraph describing what it's like for you being that really important cog inside that clock, okay? So really take your time, do one sentence at a time. You can borrow mine, I'll share that document with mummies and daddies as well, okay? But my sentences, the starter ones are okay. I'm sure you can make them a million times better, okay? Really stretch yourselves. Think about starting your sentences with something other than I. I started with just I, which was fine to start with, but it now needs to get better. Then add in your adjectives, add in your adverbs, maybe choose better verbs. There might be some better choices that you can make, which will make the whole sentence lift and sounds far more exciting, okay? So here's your challenge. Please could you do those 4 sentences? You can do a couple more if you like. Don't make it too long, otherwise it can get a bit repetitive. Do at least those 4 sentences, and then when we have our session, I would like you to share them with the entire Year 2 group so that we can all enjoy our writing together. Okay, I'll see you soon.